My name is James Barnor, B-A-R-N-O-R. I come from Jamestown. I was born in 1929. You see the shutter on the right, bottom right. That's where you even start to learn to hold the camera steady, because it's got a very slow shutter speed, about a 60th or something. My art, the one who trained me to weave baskets, you know, he was our craftsmaster. He taught me to weave baskets, and it's because of the basket that I went to teach. You know, so not an ordinary teacher. I had that to offer, as well as looking after the school band. So I was important in our infant school. And he gave me, and I still asking myself why he gave me the camera. And one of the pictures, you know, the girl leaning on the small table that I skipped, she was one of the people I first photographed, because she was a student at the time.
Okay.
Later I went on to, I didn't realize how that would take me to photography. Later I got a 620, you know, box camera, Kodak. And I was sending it to somebody to develop and print, and I was going to wait for it to be developed and print. But I came from a photographic background, you know, family. So many people I know were photographers, so going to it was easy. I had, I think, already shown an interest of going in, because I knew I wouldn't pay apprenticeship. You know, that's easy. Not that I wanted to be a photographer. That cousin was, you know, the head of all the cousins, and I used to be sent to him for various things, not necessarily to do photography. My uncle in the house was a photographer. I didn't do anything with him. My senior brother was the one who carried his camera or the backdrop, you know, whenever he was going out. So he should have been the one to be a photographer. But when, in course of time, I was teaching, and there came an opportunity for teachers, or you know, to go to a special art and craft teachers course at Chimota. I think it was there before, and during the war it was stopped. So after the war they revived it and advertised it, and I applied. And I didn't get it because I didn't apply through the head of my educational unit. So it was rejected. And that my teacher was the one who got it. And that time I was teaching. I thought, if I'm teaching like that and getting £2 108 pence a month, you know, £25 a year, and there were teachers qualified and they were getting more, why not leave and go to another art and craft job? That's photography. That's how I moved to photography. But I started with that little camera. I went on to 620. But as I said, you know, uncles, and I'm sure that the one who taught my uncle, not my cousin, you know, the one who taught my cousin was another uncle that I came to meet. See, and my mother's brother was also practicing, but he finished, you know, he retired before I finished school. And when I finished my apprenticeship, he gave me all his equipment. Yes. So even though it wasn't top, but it got me started. So the question of photography was in my family already. I didn't have to struggle to go into it. And I don't think, if I had gone to a secondary school, I don't know if I would like to be a lawyer or a doctor or one of you, and would like to come, supposed to, you know, be a low-class profession, you know, to go and be a photographer. As for photography, you know, it's nothing. Yeah. But anyway, I'm glad that I did. Now I'm feeling hungry that I should have gone to secondary school and university before doing photography. Then, you know, I can control the media better than now. You know, so many years now I'm looking for somebody to archive my work for me. That's, you know, if I've gone through school, gone through, you know, the discipline of learning to keep our archives, not just keep them because they shouldn't be lost, but keeping them in order and writing, you know, making notes on it and keeping them where they are, even finding market for them as you put them together. Yeah. You know, you can't go to school, you know, you can't have that background and have a treasure of this and just keep them waiting for the time to come. You have to make way for it. You have to find a means of exposing it. You see, so even though you say, "Oh, you've been successful," so you know, even without your school, if I did go to a college of art in England, but the teacher, head of department who interviewed me, looked at my work, and he said, you know, and he took me personally to the principal, and he said, "Mr. Barnor hasn't got GCE, but I'll take care of him." That was how I got into a college. He wasn't photographing officially. He wasn't employed as a photographer working for the, he was in the dark room, but he had a camera, and he was self-taught. But, you know, I think he had more influence on me than the one who taught me, you know, seriously for 2 years. Yeah. And meeting him and getting to get into the inside, that's why I left. You know, I found a way to leave my cousin who was, you know, my master. Yeah. Because I felt I was wasting my time. And for retouching, you've got to stay more than the 2 years. Because you don't start till you are going to finish. And when you start retouching, you've got to do it and do it and do it before you become perfect. It's not easy. Yeah. Okay. It's later when I came here and went into either full-time education, went into you know, library work, research at college, and also started getting publications in international, I would say, drum magazine. You know, when you get there and your pictures are being read. Now they ask you, you know, who is this, what is this, and what. Then it was there that I got the idea of, you know, passing it on. And now the main thing is to preserve it, catalog it, you know, so that I can find out things easily. And if scanning, we scan some. And then most or some of them have already been scanned. 2010 or 2009, I met my agents, present agents. They had all my work, and they scanned about 240 and took 70 of them as exhibition. At the moment, the agreement that I signed, you know, bound my hands a bit. But then I didn't know before. And once you got in, you can't get out. That's where, when you want a picture of Kwame Nkrumah, you have to go overseas to get it, you know. And some of them are there. But the negatives and everything are with me. And I still feel that 240 are not all that they did. And there are more. And that is what I want to bank on, plus theirs, so that I know what the pictures, you know, the whole thing is, and then form a trustee and hand over. And then I can raise my feet and say, "Oh, I've done it." During the independence, he dressed, but he was in white. But this one and all these, you know, colonial officers in their helmets. You will never see. So these are actually historic images. And I feel proud. This has not been used, you know, but I feel proud that at least I've kept some of them. But in my photography, I like babies. We saw the baby on all fours. But this was taken before that one.
Who's this?
You know, another baby, and look at the smile and the action, you know. I'm proud of this. And these prints of Mike Egan, they are at the Tate Gallery, you know, Tate Britain. So for an African or for a Ghanaian to get his picture at the Tate, it's wonderful. That was my big exhibition in London of my work for the first time. There had been some exhibition, even when I finished college, I think 64, 63, I made an exhibition. You know, I arranged with the school authorities and I had an exhibition on Ghana. But this was one that was made after the first one at Harvard. And, you know, this was huge, facing the street as well as that. One of the first.